The automotive YouTube scene has been raving about what's in this bag, so I decided to jump on the bandwagon as well. A good thing to have when on the trails is a way to inflate or deflate your tires. The simplest method is a pocket screwdriver and a cheap 12-volt compressor. The popular trend right now is to install a compressor into the engine bay, then create a fancy 4-way hose assembly to inflate or deflate the tires simultaneously. This setup is pretty neat, but I'm going to be different-ish. To start off, I'm going to install a pressure cutoff switch to the compressor. This will shut it off when it reaches 120 psi and turn back on at 90 psi. This way, it won't blow itself up if the line gets plugged. There are 4 screws around this plastic cover and 2 in the center. Removing this gives access to the wiring and plumbing guts. The pressure switch needs to be put in line with the main switch to control the power. I'll run the ends of the wires out the pipe hole in the cover. The factory hose needs to come off to allow for the manifold to be installed. This 3-port manifold will allow for a pressure switch, a pressure gauge, the original hose, and another hose fitting to be installed. Yes, that's 4 things. This 3-port manifold is really a 5-port. Each end has a plug that can be removed and used as another porthole. This should work well. I'm going to install a ball valve for the original hose. This will let me use the other hose fitting without losing all the air out the original hose. With the compressor connected to the battery, we can see how the pressure switch works. The only spot left in the Sport Trac engine bay is the factory air cleaner spot. I only have this spot because I did some high-tech PVC work rerouting the air cleaner over a year ago. My original plan was to mount a second battery here, but this will be more useful. 3 tabs are welded to the factory bracket. I was careful to keep the factory holes free to use and give enough lift for the engine side to clear that coolant hose. The 4th tab will be a separate piece of angle that runs down and bolts to the frame. The fitment works, so time for final welding and paint. Ooh, shiny. To secure the compressor to the bracket, I decided to use rivet nuts. These things are great and let you put a nut pretty much wherever you can fit it. You'll never drop your nuts again. Here's a quick mock-up of the compressor mounted. There's not much space to see it once it's installed into the engine bay. With all the mounting bolts hand tight, I can now drill holes for the frame bracket. This bracket will prevent the compressor from sagging into that coolant hose. Yeah, that's nice and tight. No wiggle here. Plenty of clearance. Time to run some wire. Even with the non-level mounting, the compressor still looks clean and doesn't have any protrusions. For now, I've run the wire along the top of the radiator. Quick, close your eyes for this part. Don't look at that wiring mess. That really needs to be fixed. I think we need to test this air compressor. Hey, what'd you do? I'm testing the air compressor. No. Next time, use this valve core tool. Idiot. Let's race compressors. My new one versus that old dinky one. No way, yours is gonna win. That's not my problem. You decided to stab the tire. Fine. But I get the head start. Fine, you can get the head start. I'll be right over here waiting. 3, 2, 1, start. 3, 2, 1, how I start.
I win. Loser. It's not fair.